Hey everybody, welcome back to TM Financial Strategies, where we achieve more when we work as a team. Welcome back to Getting Your Financial House in Order, Part 3. This is the last video of this series, so make sure you guys hit like and subscribe and have the notification bell on for future videos. Now, if you missed the last two videos, the links to those videos are in the description below, so make sure to check those out, creating a budget and finding the right fit. May be asking yourselves, what do I mean by getting your financial house in order? We've done already two videos on it, one with budget and the financial fit, but we haven't really answered the main question, getting your financial house in order. So what does that mean? Well, getting your financial house in order means that you guys are budgeting for your day-to-day. You guys are managing your debt, like mortgages and credit cards. You guys are planning for the future. You're investing for retirement. You're looking to accomplish goals, whether it's, buying a house, buying a car, starting a family. This is all part of getting your financial house in order. Without strategies to accomplish goals and manage this debt and our budgets and our income, we really have a dysfunctional financial house. So for us to get it functional, we have to organize everything onto forms, onto spreadsheets that get us an idea of where we are at today and where we want to be 5 years from now, 10 years from now, and so on. Getting your financial house in order will help you survive pandemics like we've had this last year and any crises that may come up in the future. So what is the first step in getting your financial house in order? Well, the first thing you should do is figure out what your goals are for the future. What are your short-term goals? What are your long-term goals? What are your retirement goals? Now, the timeline on these goals is different for everybody, but let's put it into some perspective here. A short-term goal for some of you might be to buy a new car or buy a new house. For me, actually, it's to adopt a little dog. I'm a huge animal lover and a dog lover, and my short-term goal is to adopt a pet dog. Long-term goals can be, considered long-term planning. So like planning for retirement, paying down your student debt, your mortgages, and things like that. For me, my long-term goal is actually to build my future home. I don't necessarily want to buy it. I want to build it from the ground up. It's something that's more personable to me. When we look at retirement goals, this is something that we've strived for so long. We've worked hard to get to this point where we don't have to get up at a certain time in the day. We don't have to go to work. We're retired, so we might want to travel more, for example, or spend time with more family. For me, my future retirement goal is to travel as much as I can and see parts of the world that I never would have had time for because I was working. Well, once I'm retired, I hope to be able to do those things. To me, those are what goals look like, and I hope that some of those goals are similar to what you guys have for your futures. Step 2 of getting your financial house in order is we already did a recording on step 2. It's creating a budget. So make sure you guys check out the link below if you haven't seen the creating a budget video. When we create a budget, it's to understand how much we can spend and how much we can really afford to spend. We want to make sure in that budget we include savings because we want to make sure we have money for the future. Knowing what we bring home every single day from work and what we spend on is an important step to getting your financial house in order. So here's what I'm going to do for you guys today. In the link below in the description, we will actually be giving you guys the same budget sheet that all of our clients use during our first meetings with them. This is for you guys complimentary just for watching this video. It will help you guys start getting your financial house in order by creating your budgets. Step 3 of getting your financial house in order is something that everybody should do. It's finding a financial advisor. Look, they're here for a reason. They are some people who are equipped with the knowledge and skills to help you get your financial house in order. They can help you with trim the fat on your budget sheet. They can help you with cash flow. They can help you with planning for your future retirement. That's their job. That's what we as advisors are fantastic at doing. So let's point this out here to you guys. Here are some qualities that you guys should be looking for when looking for the right fit, for the right financial advisor. Now, before I get into it, if you missed our video from last time when we did talk about finding the financial fit, be sure to check that out in the description below. When we're looking for the right fit, we need to be focused on 3 important qualities and a 4th question that a lot of people forget to ask. So what are those qualities? You have to ask the advisor you're meeting with, are they a fiduciary? Are they independent? Are they tax efficient? The 4th question that everyone seems to forget to ask is, does the advisor offer insurance-based and market-based investments? They can't be, a true fiduciary if they only offer one side of the investment spectrum. They're not holistic then, right? So make sure when you're looking for an advisor, whether it's here in Illinois or anywhere else in the world, ask them these questions. Because at the end of the day, when we make that first appointment, when we sit down with our advisors, they're going to ask us a ton of questions. We're going to ask them a ton of questions. After all, this is someone who's going to help us take the next step in our financial house. They're going to help us invest for the future. They're going to help us trim the fat on our budget if we need to. Accomplishing our goals is something they can help you do. So make sure you ask these questions. I can't emphasize that enough. So when you go in there for your first appointment and you have your budget sheet, you have your goals, don't be afraid to ask the advisor sitting on the other side of the table from you these 4 questions. Are they a fiduciary? Are they independent? Are they tax efficient? And do they offer market-based and insurance-based investments? It's a vital question in getting your financial house in order. Let me tell you about a couple I met with last year, and they did give me permission to tell you their story. But for privacy's sakes, let's give them some fake names, okay? We'll call him Michael and call her Anna. Michael and Anna came to me last year with a completely disorganized financial house. Everything was all over the place. They had accounts at one bank, investment firms with another firm. Their expenses were all over the place. They were completely disorganized. They were a family of 4, 2 kids, a brand new home they just purchased, and a lot of goals they wanted to accomplish in their financial journey. But how are they going to do that with a disorganized financial house? They had a hard time keeping track of their expenses in correlation to what they were making in income. They had huge goals for retirement and they wanted to pay for their kids' school. But right now, the biggest decision they could make at this present time was to come see me, a financial advisor. So we had our first appointment with Michael and Anna. As I've already mentioned, some of their goals were to have some money for retirement set aside and pay for their kids' school. But their other goals also included paying off their mortgage. It was a 30-year loan. They also wanted to retire somewhere warm, so that was included. And they wanted to travel. Now, we didn't specifically go over their finances in their first meeting. They brought everything over because they were actually pretty organized on where they kept their investment statements and their bank statements. But for the most part, it was all over the place in different firms. But that wasn't our focus for the first meeting. Our first meeting was to get to know each other, make sure we are a good fit to work together. We went over their goals. They asked me a ton of questions about my practice and what we stand for and how we do financial planning for the future. Now, something to keep in mind, I've mentioned this earlier, make sure you ask your advisor a ton of questions, no matter where you are, whether you're in Wisconsin, here in Illinois, Arizona, on the East Coast, and Massachusetts. It doesn't matter where you are or where your advisor is. Ask a ton of questions. Make sure you get all the information on the table. Make sure what they do for you is in your best interest, not in theirs. So, as I'm going through our meeting with Michael and Anna, we're talking, we're discussing, we're getting to know each other, and we decided that we are a good fit to work together. At the end of the first appointment here, they were actually able to give me their financial documents, give me their expenses, and their most recent tax return. We took that information, and about a week and a half later, we put together for them a fully comprehensive tax plan that included a risk analysis on their investments to see where they currently are and see what we need to change and what recommendations we can make going forward. As we're sitting down in our second meeting here, we're going over these numbers. We start off with the investment statements. We go over what's in each portfolio. What kind of risk are they taking? Is it too much? Is it too little? We find the inefficiencies in the portfolio. Is it a balanced approach? Is there too much of one particular fund versus another. We go over that in minute detail. After we go through all this stuff, we go into the actual plan itself to give them an idea of where they currently are, help them get organized. We go over that, and we follow that up with what we recommend, at least at the starting point of what we might recommend, right? Because everything we do is we work on it together. Every plan is built together here at TM Financial Strategies. Now, they look this over and they say, this is actually pretty good, but they wanted to make some adjustments. And you know what? That's perfect. Not everything we're going to recommend right away is going to be the perfect fit for you. There's going to be changes. So we go over some of those changes, how they want to have the accounts balanced in terms of their investments. Do they want insurance in their financial plan or do they not? Does it make sense for their taxes presently and going forward? But the main goal is accomplishing their future financial goals. Like I said, retiring somewhere warm, paying for their kids' school, paying off a mortgage. Like, these things are included and it's all built in. But the way we go about them, there's multiple ways. So we concluded our second appointment. We said, our goodbyes are there and we'll see each other in about another week and a half. We finalize everything. My job is to get those recommendations, those changes applied to their plan. We sit down for our third appointment here and I'm thinking to myself, like, well, here's what we created working together. And from my perspective, this is the very best plan for them. No plan is going to be the same. All products are going to be different. It's individual to you. That's what's important to remember here. Sometimes products may cross over from client to client, but at the end of the day, they have served different purposes. For you, it might be different than for someone else, as long as it makes sense for your financial plan. Michael and Anna went over these changes with me, the things they wanted to see and the things that we talked about, and they were thrilled with it. They started asking, what's our next step? How do we implement this? Well, I basically told them this. We could do this one of two ways. We can start the application process today in our third appointment, just right then and there. Or we can schedule a time to get all their statements organized, get their beneficiaries in order, get all the information that I would need in addition to for those applications. Well, we did a kind of a hybrid. We did some of this paperwork that day actually because we were able to. Some stuff they had to get me a little bit later on, but that's okay. At the end of the day, Michael and Anna came to me with a disorganized financial house. And within a couple of weeks, we got their financial house in order for their future financial goals. Listen, guys, we've talked about a ton of information here today. We talked about getting your short-term and long-term goals. We talked about getting your budget in order. We talked about finding the right fit. Let's face it, sometimes we need a financial advisor to accomplish our financial goals. We talked about the importance of creating a comprehensive financial plan. And we gave you an example of that from one of our clients who came to us with a disorganized financial house. And in a matter of a few weeks, they left with a financial house in order that accomplishes all their goals for their financial future. Look, I can't stress this enough. Getting your financial house is important in order. Get it in order. All right? Do whatever you guys need to do, whether it's finding a local financial advisor, finding that partner who values your goals, who has your best interest at heart. So thank you guys for joining us here today. I know this is one of those technical long videos. Again, thanks for joining us. Make sure you guys hit the like, the subscribe button, have that little notification bell on for our future videos. If you have anything you guys want to see in the future, make sure to comment also below. We'll keep an eye out for those and for any future ideas for new videos if you guys want to see something. Once again, guys, thanks for joining us. Hope you guys are all doing well. Stay safe. Stay safe.